What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Good afternoon on this lovely Tuesday, Thursday. Jeez, Tuesday. All right. Let's show this really quick.
We're hearing from Metro Police for the very first time since the college student went missing in downtown Nashville.
There's been a large search for the 22-year-old for nearly a week now. He disappeared after being kicked out of a Broadway bar.
WSMV's Brendan Tierney is downtown with the very latest details.
First Avenue North at Gay Street here is a busy area where a lot of tourists come every day. So police are surprised no one has found any trace of Riley since he was last seen here on Friday. Search and rescue crews battled their way through the thick brush along the banks of the Cumberland River.
There's a lot of switchbacks, and so it'd be dangerous for anybody really to go down there.
Metro police officers use ropes to lower down to homeless camps along the water, where multiple people said they saw Riley straying before his disappearance.
We try to utilize all resources available.
The 22-year-old Mizzou student was in town for a fraternity formal and vanished after getting kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar. His parents have been in town since the weekend.
We're doing everything we can to stay positive because we've got to be positive. That's the positive outcome we want.
Riley was last seen crossing First Avenue North and going along Gay Street towards the river. Police say they did not see him on security cameras down the road at the courthouse, so they've been able to narrow in the search area.
It gives you hope.
People like Gary Hanner have joined the search, using his boat on the water and talking with people to find new clues.
You know, at this point, we're just looking for anything that can just point towards where Riley is.
Metro police say they're getting multiple Crime Stopper tips every day and are investigating all of them. At this point, no foul play is suspected, and they're just hoping to bring him home.
Riley, we're still here, Bubba. We're coming for you. Just help us find you.
Police say they're going to keep searching until they find Riley. We've seen dozens of people out here today walking along the river and...
All right, guys, let's talk about it. I want to show you guys something that I've been working on. Let me share. Bring in handy dandy Google Earth. Let's take a look. So I'm going to back us up a little bit here and get just a little bit more. I want to go to my that. Okay, so here's this tempo by Hilton over here. Let's do like this. I want to make sure this is showing what I want it to show. Okay. Right here, your building. Now, resume. Next. Friends in Low Places. That's at Garth Brooks Bar. Then Luke's 32 Bridge. And then take a look. All the way over here is called Your Tempo. And let me do a little, look at this. This is called Your Tempo. Something that I think is interesting is if Riley was to put into his GPS tempo, because he's going back to that hotel tempo. Well, if by accident Riley types in and it just pops up and he clicks the Your Tempo, okay, look at where Riley would have went. It is truly on the path. Okay, take a look. We're going to back all the way out. See River Park here? Okay. So he was coming down along here. See your tempo right there? Again, let's back out. Right here. Your tempo. So, again, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. If Riley types in tempo into his phone, he is coming from, okay, that's where the tempo by, Hilton, Nashville downtown, Luke's, Garth, they were over there, but he comes down and then heads this way. Okay. And everybody's like, why the hell would he be heading this way? Are we sure that he was, how did he get turned around? How did he get turned around? Right. And his phone allegedly had battery. His phone, and he has a watch. Let me tell you how accurate these watches are. And let me tell you how accurate these phones are as far as to find you. If you can plug in those phones and you can download the contents in there, you can then pull out this information. And but you need the phone to do it, right? Or you can also take a look at iCloud. But what would make sense here, if Riley is walking along this path, okay, was he continuing to walk on this path because he was thinking that he was on and going to the right place? He was not turned around. He continued to take those directions, which would have taken him. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys right here. Wait, back out. One more. Is this where Riley was? Is this where what's his name was last night? JLR. Okay. I'm gonna let it circle around again. Okay, so he's coming from over here. He's gonna be walking, this way. But those are those two bridges, right? Those are those two bridges back there. And remember, they were trying to tell us that he didn't make it past the bridges. The second, it looked like he could have double backed around. Okay. Well, I just want to show you guys that. Oh, let's do it one more time. And then let's back out a little bit. And then let's tilt it. Okay. He was literally, if he's walking on this path to continue right here and to go right here, this dabble tours and events, that's your tempo to go right here, right there. That's what that is. Now, if his phone would have been smashed and didn't work anymore, he still has his iWatch. And your iWatch is, that's how Jennifer McCabe's about to get screwed in the Karen Reed case. But your iWatch would have still, had your data as you're walking or whatever. They keep saying he wasn't seen in the Birch camera. But there was a shadow scene running in the background. It's hard to see, but it's there. Yeah, and let's be honest. I would like to actually take a look at that and just watch it straight through for like the hour that it has it. But they say that they have this iWatch data. And so I'm curious as to where the iWatch data stopped. Okay. Your iWatch is water resistant. Okay. So it can go into the water. So if his phone was smashed and broken, if you think about it, okay, great. But that does not, we have to still talk about the iWatch. He had this iWatch on. Where his debit card was found was past where he had already walked. All right. And his debit card was in his wallet. So why would his debit card just be by itself? You know, that's indicative of somebody taking a debit card, like somebody has somebody's wallet and is going through it and is throwing shit. That's what that's indicative of to me. If you're going to get rid of the wallet, you know, and you throw the wallet like this, even, they may have found the debit card could have flown out, but you would have probably found that wallet as well. That's not what that's if they would have kept on searching. And if they did, nothing has turned up that they found the watch. They just have the debit card. So let me show you guys something else. Again, this is just stuff that I think is interesting. If you're, again, I'm going to go back and show you guys what I did with this search. So here's the Tempo, the Hilton, the hotel where they were at right here. And I'm going to go down so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I want to pause it here. So when they would have came out, they're walking and they hit these bars. And then when people think that he gets turned around and he's going the wrong way, I want you to look all the way over here where it says Your Tempo over here. Your Tempo. Tempo by Nash. Tempo by Hilton. And this is a new hotel. So new that if you go and you look at if you go and you Google it and stuff like that, it shows it being built. Okay. So this is really important because I've done it before. You guys have done it before. We use our phones to say, and you're in an area that you don't know, and I'm trying to type up and I'm trying to say, okay, I'm just going to put in Tempo because that's where I know that I'm saying. So I go to my Google Maps and I hit Tempo. So if I was Riley and I do that, and it is 100% possible that, because if you look at the way that he was walking, he is just like on a straight line going straight like this, right? Just like that. And wait, what is that? Your Tempo. And then versus he's just right here and he's in the city around all of this. Okay. At no point in time would he have ever seen, I don't know when they arrived on this trip. Okay. I don't know how, if they spent time going around and if he's directionally challenged, you know, you don't know. I would probably ask his parents that. But if I went around and toured a little bit before I went out, I think that I would have remembered that that my hotel was in the city and not up against water, right? But then again, if I'm screwed up, head injury, all those things. But you have to look at it this way. Is it possible that Riley was actually not thinking that he was turned around, and the reason that he didn't ask anybody for help because the police officer says to him, hey, hey, buddy, what's up? And he says, hey, how are you? Hey, how, he's fine. Like, why wouldn't he ask for help if he needed help? Okay. Riley seemed perfectly fine, in my opinion, in terms of like that he could keep it together to answer that question for that and make it seem like he was totally fine. Does that make sense? Like, I'm winning you over as an officer, like, oh my God, I got to straighten up because I don't want this officer to think that I'm out of it or something. Versus saying, he could just say, like, oh my God, hey, I got totally disoriented with my friends. I got kicked out. I don't know where I'm going. My phone's not working. I lost where I was going because my phone died. And so therefore I have no idea where I'm at. can you tell me where is the Tempo Hotel? Okay. He doesn't do anything like this. In fact, it's like he straightens up, you know, and he's coherent enough when the guy asks him a question. The police officer asks Riley a question that he, you know, says, "Hey, what's up, back?" and has that type of interaction. And police officers are taught to be, you know, to pay attention. You know, they pay attention to people when they're walking, their hands, like you're taught that, right? So this officer did not think that it was like that he was so out of sorts that, you know, what is this kid doing? He's, you know, walking all over the place, or he's like trotting along or whatever, right? So what that helps me to think is that when I look at this and I see that this says your Tempo over here, did he actually click on this? And is that in fact where he was headed, thinking that he was going to his hotel? Like he's coming, he's leaving here, and he goes, zoom. He goes this way, right there, that escape game, he passes that, right? So look at that. And then he's coming down, where is it? Right here, to then be over here. All right. So was he truly turned around, or was he in fact just following his GPS that took him to your Tempo? And right now I have my money on that. I think that it was in his phone that that's where he was headed. Because it makes sense. And what else makes sense is that would mean that he's headed here. At some point when you're down here, all right, let's go like this. And let's come and go right by here. Remember, this is where this all happened. So think about this. Let's go back to his first movement. When everyone say he was turned around, he actually, from leaving this, you know how he comes this way and then goes down like that? From 32, he didn't go like down this way and then come like that. No, he came straight down here. And where would that be? So here, go like this. And where would this be heading if you're going to be walking and go straight down this way to head over that way, where that right there is, that little dot? Straight down there takes you to your Tempo. You guys see that? Over there, that yellow dot is. And that would be like that straight path that he was actually on when he was walking that way. And that's what kind of makes sense to me in terms of that. I don't think he was turned around. I think he thought that he was going to his hotel. I think he thought that your Tempo was his hotel. Does that make sense when you're looking at the screen? How he could have typed that in? Because it's exactly the way that he was going. And if he has a working phone and he has a working iWatch, all right, even if his phone would have got damaged, or if it dies, which they're trying to say to us that his phone did not die, and that in fact it lost service and connection, but it wasn't due to it being out of battery. Well, what about his iWatch? That would have still been counting steps. Not that he could use it as like a phone so much at that point. It would have been about the steps on it. How many more steps did Riley take with his iWatch? And if that information is in the iCloud, how many more steps did he take? So this is what I don't understand in terms of what the capabilities are on if they did a search warrant and they were able to get into Riley's iCloud, that information is in Riley's iCloud. Um, now, if somebody took his wallet and was shuffling through the contents of it and was like throwing stuff out, what you're also going to do is you're going to take somebody's phone and you're going to, damage it or throw it or and whatnot. But for his debit card to be by itself and not with the wallet, I think that that's extremely interesting, especially where it was found. It was found where Riley had already passed that point. He was seen by the cop, but his debit card is, before that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? When he's walking, he already passes where his debit card was found and he's continuing to walk. So how does his debit card get back to that point? Okay. And I just think that that is super, super interesting, because what it kind of tells me is that we would want to let's look at all the camera footage of anybody that's walking back that way, that'd be heading, on these cameras, walking back, that could have possibly had his belongings, meaning AKA his wallet. Because like you take this off of somebody, you have it, and then you're going to, shuffle through it. Okay, yeah, I can't use a debit card. That's going to get me caught. Fuck that. So you start shuffling through stuff and you're throwing stuff out. And that to me would seem like it was to be somebody that would be walking and heading back towards the way that he was coming from. So I want to show you guys something. Another thing that I found that I just thought was very, very interesting. Let's go to this from Luke's. Okay. Again, remember, he's leaving. And he goes immediately, like he goes like left. He doesn't go down to the water and then go left. He's going in the middle, and then he makes a right to then when he gets to that kind of like dead end, and then he goes left. All right. So he has his phone out too when he's walking and whatnot. And so when we get to, let's go and type in or right here. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. Oops, sorry, I was on the wrong one. This road. Okay. Right here. Take a look at this. You see that car that's parked all the way back there? See if I can zoom in. Is that car there? You know how you just randomly catch, like, when Google's going through and you randomly catch cars and shit? So I want you guys to see where this would be. If you guys were watching Jonathan Lee Rich's last night, he lost service. And I was paying attention to when he lost service. And I went back to really take a look at where he lost service. And let's see if I can go like this. Oh. right here. He sits on these stairs. He takes like a break. Right there. And he loses service. You guys was any of you guys watching Jonathan Lee Richards yesterday when he lost service? And he lost service when he went and he took these stairs and he went up top. Nancy, are you kidding me? You're gifting everybody some memberships here. Look at you, girl. Nancy, you're the best. So let's take a look here. I want to show you guys this. So if you guys were watching Jonathan last night, he was sitting on these stairs, and then I'm back us out a little bit. Oh God, what the fuck did I just do? Let's go back to where I was. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Ah. That was right here. Right there. Boom. You know how he was zooming in around there? But he goes up these stairs, and right here, he starts losing service. It's something weird happens, and he loses service. And so I marked that down because what that means is that you can go through dead spots. You go through dead spots all the time. And right there, there's a dead spot. Okay. So what that also tells me is that there's dead spots in multiple places. If you live down there as well, if you're, engaging in criminal behavior, you're going to pay attention to where cameras are and where they're not. But so I did notice, and I went ahead, and I think all of you guys should be marking that down, is that he also lost service on the bridge. Yep. And that's my next spot that I'm going to, is to show you that he lost service when, 100%. And I thought that was interesting because this is all right where he was. And so there are dead spots of service. Let me go back over to where I want to take us. Okay. So so he was walking this path, right? And now he has the opportunity to ask a police officer for help, or, hey, do you know if the tempo is this way? He could have said anything. But he didn't. And if actually we continue on the path to the Your Tempo place, like we said, if you type that in wrong, then literally this is right where he is. Look at right here. Okay. He's literally he's almost there. He's almost there. So that's why he does not need help, right? Because he thinks he knows that, hey, it's like right here. Now, remember that car that we saw on the cameras that was acting suspicious? Now check this out. When I went over here to take a look at this again, I said, oh shit, hold on. I'm on the wrong one. Okay, right here. You see this area right here? These cars. See this aerial view and these cars? That freaking car right there looks identical. Literally looks identical to the car that is seen like being suspicious. I'll show you what I'm talking about. O'Reilly's. No, that's not what I want to say. Okay, right here. Got it. I'm going to share this. Okay, this guy right here.
Over the weekend. On Monday, police also released body cam footage showing Strain's brief interaction with a cop at night, but Dingman noted that it took.
You know who does a really good job breaking?
TikTokers over the weekend. On Monday, police also released body cam Merlin River, where his bank card was found
Right here.
tied to TikTokers over the weekend. On Monday, police also released body cam footage showing.
I'm going to go to somebody else I think does a better job of that. Let me do something else. I want to show you guys. And I think that you guys should look at some of this guy's videos. I like the way he breaks down. Let's see. Okay. Mob Crew, I think it's called. Yeah. Here, I want to share this.
I would think
Okay.
you would probably. That's interesting. He leaves the bar, and it's about 9:40 when he leaves, and then at 9:44, so he's kicked out at 9:35, and then he's out the door at 9:40. I'm assuming in between that time frame, they said that he went from one bar to the other because they're phone pro model. Oh,
I want to go to this. Okay.
10:15 at the.
So what he does, what I like that he does is, so as things are pumping in, he's showing this, and something that I thought was interesting is 9:48 to 9:51 p.m. walking north along Gay Street. 9:52 p.m. passes the officer. Okay. Then 9:53. This is when this life alert says no network or phone off. That is boom, right where JLR lost freaking service. Literally right there. So this 9:53 p.m. life alert says no network or phone off. Now I don't know if he means like Life 360 alert when he's saying a life alert versus is he truly talking about like that Life 360 app? But right here, this that time stamp, I'm telling you that is right where JLR lost service. You guys can go back and check out JLR's live that he did last night when he was walking it, and he loses service. I'm telling you, right there. So that's just really interesting to me. Then
The phone last pinged 9:58, 9:53, and those are all kind of pretty much right, but they're
okay, so
different
9:58.
things. So at 9:53, we have the live alert, which says there's no network or phone is off. So I think that's a huge clue as well, which means
So 9:55, phone dies, but not due to battery, right? But his last ping is at 9:58. Now, if you go and you look at Google Maps or anything that you're tracking somebody and how far they're going to be walking and jogging, this is the video that I believe that the police are not releasing, and it shows Riley actually jogging again, right? Right before the bridge. And this is the video that they're not showing, from my understanding. And I think that this is interesting because from 9:53, when it goes out for a little bit, then his phone dies, but not due to battery. That's interesting way to word it. But then his last ping is at 9:58. Let me tell you what this tells me. They're not using the phone for his 9:58 ping. They're using his iWatch for his last ping. Okay. Because if your phone dies, my understanding is you could still ping it unless it's destroyed. Okay. Which would come from either the phone going in the water to the point that it is terminated, or that it is completely smashed to the point that it's not, you know. So I believe that the 958 ping, that has to be from the iWatch. If you want to talk about logic. And yes, by the way, CrimeCon is in Nashville.
Means, in my opinion, I'm not a phone expert, but I'm assuming either by water damage or the phone was broken. But with an iPhone, if it's just turned off or it was smashed.
Okay.
And so this is where I was kind of like, in the beginning we
Okay,
had
so then this doesn't make any sense then. Then at 10:15, okay, phone pinged at JRP Bridge and Gay. And now what this is telling me is that the phone has circled back because Riley's already passed this, meaning this. Let me show you. I'm going to type this in as so. Whoopsies. Let's back up out of our keep on going. Let's actually go back over here. Okay, and let's put in he loses a service here as well. JLR is a service right here. Okay, hold on one second. Let's see, one other thing here. guys see your tempo? Your tempo. This is exactly where he was walking to. I think this is what was in his phone instead of Tempo Hotel. I think it was the Your Tempo place, which is exactly the path that he was on. Now, hella something goes on here, right? And it's all weird between this bridge and this bridge. They're trying to make it seem like that he doesn't make it to the other bridge. And I think that's all beyond interesting. This is the first bridge. He would have had to, in order to walk across that bridge from where he was, he would have had to walk up those stairs. Now, let's show you this. Now, in order for his phone to ping at the JRP Bridge and Gay Street, and that pings, now his phone is pinging at 10:15. How's that possible? If his phone's damaged and broke, how is it pinging? If his phone is in the water, it would have already been waterlogged damage if he would have fell in, 10:15, how is his phone pinging? Or is it in fact that the pinging is not from the phone, but it's from the iWatch? They haven't released, they won't talk about this iWatch. Why won't they talk about the iWatch? Why aren't they talking about the iWatch? Okay.
And I think it really sparked
Now here.
a huge drop. And she, but sometimes that backfires.
I also thought that it could have happened that Riley went and took a piss to be out of the way so that he doesn't get and nobody sees him doing this, so he doesn't get in trouble, and then he slipped and fell. I was looking at all that stuff, and yeah, you may think this is like a cliff or whatever, but take a look here. These are between the two bridges. This is where this was picked up. Cell phone, right? That's what it looks like. So in my personal opinion, if he would have fell, and came down this ledge, it's not like there's just water right there. He would have hit himself on all of these embankments that they're calling them. So this whole cliff, and that there's just water right there. That's not what I see. I don't see that. Apple Watch wasn't activated. Who has the Apple Watch and doesn't activate it? How do you... I don't even know if that's possible. So his iWatch wasn't connected through his phone so that he could actually answer a call through his phone. It wasn't paired with it. How would they know that, to be honest? No, I'm not knocking on anybody's family. That's not what this is about. It's just how would they know that? So I want to show you guys something else.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking, yeah, searching. We got Barry north. Wow.
I don't want that.
Just real quick, what
I don't know
all.
The I thought maybe it's on this one. Let me pull up this next item I want to show, which is the Riley scooter. All right. Let's see what Ashley Banfield has for us. She's always usually up for a good laugh.
Nashville tonight. He spent part of the day retracing Riley Strain's steps. Evan, I'm so glad you're doing this because even with the maps, I get confused. Can you walk me through Riley's path?
Yeah, Ashley, with those several data points on the map, it is confusing, especially if you don't know the area. And so we did spend a good part of the day walking around. And what I can tell you from the area here by the river where we are,
What's
where
up, Mike
Riley
Chopin?
Strain was last seen, to really where this story starts at the first bar that he was asked to leave. It's really only about a 15-minute or so walk if you're walking directly. Of course, we don't know the exact route he took because we have little pieces on surveillance video, but it is not terribly far away. But we took a look at all of those points a little bit earlier. Check it out.
You guys are on.
9:35 on the night, Riley Strain goes missing. According to Luke Bryan's bar.
Okay, so this is what's great. Go back and look at this. They don't even put on this map that there's a your tempo. So, like, are they not even considering that? I mean, come on, people. Riley Strain looked like he knew where he was going, right? Yes, he looked like he knew where he was going. Type in your tempo. So what am I driving? God, I love you. I'm so happy that I just saw you in here. I had to just stop and say, God damn, girl, you look so good with that blue wrench. But here, they're not even showing that. I'm telling you, he looked like he knew where he was going. He didn't ask anybody anything. I think maybe he thought to himself, this can't really be the right way, but he's looking and he sees it, the tempo, your tempo, he has it in his phone wrong. You know, I've done this so many times. Actually, I do it when I'm driving. I'm like, are you gotta be kidding me? I just came to the wrong place. So again, I encourage you guys to go look at where your tempo is. Now let's see what else they want to. This was put out last night.
Those points a little bit earlier. Check it out. 9:35 on the night, Riley Strain goes missing. According to Luke Bryan's bar here on the corner of Broadway and 3rd, he was asked to leave after being served 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. Then 11 minutes later, a surveillance camera at downtown Smoke Shop catches Strain running and then falling near a pole in the parking lot. He gets up and continues out of the frame. A minute later, another camera catches him cross First Avenue North to Gay Street. At this point, he's less than half a mile from Broadway. And finally, our last pictures of Strain are here. Body camera video catches him interacting with a Metro Nashville police officer and appearing to be fine.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
This is just across from the Cumberland River, and take a look at how steep this is in this area. It's basically a cliff, some 30, 40 feet down to the water's edge. This whole area is covered with litter, debris, trash, homeless encampments. This is where TikTokers say they found Strain's debit card. It is nowhere near, about a half mile away from his hotel, which is off in that direction, nowhere near where he's seen walking and his last cell phone pings are. And so it's very clear, Ashley, where the last pictures and the last cell phone pings are. Riley was not anywhere in the direction of the hotel that his
But
friends
he was
thought
in the direction
he was
of
going to make it to.
But you're wrong. He was going into the direction of your tempo. Has anybody gone over there? Has anybody been looking around in anything that's your tempo? That is exactly the path that he was walking to go to, is your tempo. I think that he typed it in wrong. Now, I was told that there is footage of him jogging again and that the police will not release this. And it's right before he gets actually to the bridge. That's like, my understanding is right before up on top.
Ashley.
Okay, Evan, I have this one question for you. In that last part of your stand-up, you're standing under a bridge, right? And that's typically where a lot of people would congregate because there's shelter. So there's a lot of homeless people who use, areas under
That bridge is in the middle of the water, Ashley. What the fuck are you talking about?
bridges. Was it a walkway though? Like I was struggling to find out, would Riley have ended up walking under that bridge, or would he have had to decide
What?
to leave a walkway, scramble down to some people down there to have a chat? Like how would he have ended up in that spot if he was?
Yeah, so where we are, there is a sidewalk that goes around, and there's a balustrade, and then essentially a cliff, as I showed before, 30, 40 feet down to the riverbank. Now, there are a couple other areas of land a little bit over that guardrail, so maybe 15 feet down.
That bridge is over water. Y'all understand that, right? Was Riley under there kicking it? What is she talking about? I want to make sure that I heard that correctly because, I think
Scramble down to some people down there to have a chat. I was struggling to congregate because there's shelter. So there's a lot of homeless people who use, Okay, Evan, I have this one question for you. In that last part of your stand-up, you're standing under a bridge, right? And that's typically where a lot of people would congregate because there's shelter. So there's a lot of homeless people who use, areas under bridges. Was it a walkway though? Like I was struggling to find out, would Riley have ended up walking under that bridge, or would he have had to decide to leave a walkway, scramble down to some people down there to have a chat? Like how would he have ended up in that spot if he was?
Yeah, so where we are, there is a sidewalk that goes around, and there's a balustrade, and then essentially a cliff, as I showed before.
No. This bridge though, that bridge, that's over water. That's over water. That's right here. That's over water. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. That's over water. Okay? Okay, just making sure that no, so he wasn't congregating underneath that bridge because it was lit up. Now are you meaning like underneath it where?
30, 40 feet down to the riverbank. Now, there are a couple other areas of land a little bit over that guardrail. So maybe 15 feet down, there's some land, and then you can walk further down. But it's not designed really for people to go down there. But some people do, and that's where some of the people that are experiencing homelessness, that's where their encampments are, in those woods, just over the guardrail. So you would have to be very intentional, or just really not having coordination at all, inebriated to the point where you might be sitting up and potentially fall, and then possibly roll down even further. But it is really dramatic. When I got here, I didn't understand just how far it is from where we are standing, where Riley was walking in that body camera video, to the river embankment all the way down. And
yeah,
it's almost like you'd really have to try, but there is
a exactly
way that if you were so inebriated that
there you go. This is really important. I don't believe that everybody realizes how far actually the water is out from the from where he was walking. They make it seem like he could just, if he was to go to the right, and because he's so tall and lanky that he would just lean over the rail and he would just tumble on down, and then he's in the water. No, actually, you would be on land and you would be laying, and you would have fallen a significant amount, to the point that you'd have been all busted up. You know what I mean? So, no, I disagree with that. There'd be blood, but you're not gonna. It's too far from water to. There's too much land there. But he nails it to say that, I mean, you could venture up, but you're going to be going for a while. So it wouldn't be like just if Riley just went off and tried to pee, like that doesn't make sense. Now I'm going to show us back to the Google Earth. And we're going to back out. We're going to go to my actual, let's do it like this. Just want to show. See this right here? This is the bridge that Ashley Banfield's speaking about. How it's all lit up. Okay. All right. He is nowhere the fuck over here. Okay. He is nowhere over there. This is not where he's at. But this is the view. The scenic viewpoint Nashville right here. This is what they're talking about. Take a look. That's that behind. And how it's all lit up. And he's standing like right here. Okay. That's what you see in the background. That's all water underneath. Okay. But Riley was nowhere near here. Okay. So I don't know, but just so you guys can see there's water under there. So there's nobody congregating underneath this part of the bridge. Now, over here is where she's speaking about. And like I said, Riley is nowhere over here. This is not where he was. Okay. Right. He is all the way down here. So you guys can see. We're talking about over here. And you guys see how much space there is between, like, he calls them like the woods. Now, what I want to show you guys is, again, why I believe that Riley was walking this way is if you were to actually pump in right there, your tempo is, in fact, if you were to type that in your phone and you just hit tempo, this is what could come up. This right here. Your tempo. It's exactly where he was walking towards. Your tempo. This is right where he was. That's that building. Your tempo. Your tempo, right where he was. So that's what I believe that was typed into his phone and why he was literally. We didn't see somebody deciding to walk just a little bit down there. Okay, now let's go back up this way. Let's turn back down this way. Now let's walk back down this way. Now let's go back this way. That's not what we saw. We didn't see somebody zigzagging and, oh my gosh, we're going this way. Oh my gosh, we're going that way. Like, he was just on a straight path to go right to the spot. And that's why I believe that's exactly where he was going. And it was because he typed that in his phone, and that's what came up. And so he clicked it. Now, next I want to show this rescue.
Nothing, no new tips, no traces
This
of
was
anything
like
to follow up on.
today.
National authorities and volunteers planning to ramp up their search efforts this week with a particular. This morning, a renewed focus in the urgent search for missing college student Riley Strain.
This isn't going away. We keep going until we have absolutely nothing, no new tips, no traces of anything to follow up on.
Nashville authorities and volunteers planning to ramp up their search efforts this week with a particular focus near the Cumberland River, where officials say Riley was last seen, and the same area where two
Holy shit.
volunteers found Riley's
They're
boot
taking
car.
down his posters.
We gotta hang up. The first major break.
All right. One of my sources that is there says they are taking down Riley's posters that are hanging up those little flyers. And it's because Broadway does not want bad publicity on Broadway.
In days.
I don't really know how we found it. I would love to say just dumb luck, divine intervention. It was just sitting there.
As a mystery deepens, the latest video released by Nashville police shows a 22-year-old college student the night he disappeared while visiting Music City with his fraternity brothers.
Okay.
How you doing, sir?
I gotta pause that.
Good. How are you? Good.
Does he have something in his
Officials say
hand?
Riley did not appear distressed.
Good. How are you? Good.
His fraternity brothers.
How you doing, sir? I'm good. How are you? Good.
Officials say Riley did not appear distressed in the brief exchange with a police officer. That occurred after Riley was escorted out of Luke Bryan's bar around 9:30 p.m. on March 8th. Other security videos show Riley stumbling in downtown Nashville, even falling at one point. 11 days later, police still saying there's no signs of foul play or evidence of a crime at all.
One of the concerns is that he was, Riley was being chased, he was being followed. We have seen no evidence of that.
Riley's family and friends, not giving up their fight to find him, remain hopeful he'll be found alive.
We're still here, bud. We're looking for you. We want to take you home for graduation.
His heartbroken mother pleading for help to find their son.
He's my best friend. He's everything.
And the United Cajun Navy, known for responding to natural disasters, will be bringing in extra boats, working with authorities, looking along the Cumberland River for any sign of Riley. Meanwhile, ground searches have been a bit more challenging because of the rough terrain, as well as other hazards in the way, including trash and debris. Laura?
All right, Kathy Park, thank you for staying on this one for us.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show.
Okay, so I want to hear that one more time as to.
We gotta hang up. The first major break in days.
I don't really know how we found it. I would love to say just dumb luck, divine intervention. It was just sitting
I want to see the picture, like the picture of it where it actually was and how it was laying. Does anybody have that? Does anybody have did they take a picture? It's gonna make me get in a car. I go from Indiana, Fort Wayne to now Nashville. Here we come. I would only go there if I could be on a boat. But if you could send that, if anybody has that, it's the Mind Challenge at Gmail. I can pull that up because I want to take a look at something. They take a bunch of pictures and they end up posting those. The other thing is, I think the parents did. Let's see. Yeah, they were drinking at Miranda Lamb. Yep, Garth Brooks, and then they went to Luke's, and then that's when he got kicked out.
As a mystery deepens, the latest video
Now, who called this? Who called in the broken light? I mean, the broken window. Who called that in? I tried to put in a FOIA request to find out, actually, to get that 911 call. Does anybody know? All right. So there is no call. They just happen to walk across it. Then I'll look too, but how close is your tempo to Fort? I'll take a look at that. Nancy Grace. So like right here, I was trying to stop it on this truck. Thought maybe I could see that it was.
Latest video released by Nashville police shows a 22-year-old college student the night he
See right there, the lit up building right behind it. How it has the reddish lights. That's pretty much even with where
appeared while visiting Music City with his fraternity
Riley was.
Brothers.
How you doing, sir? I'm good. How are you? Good.
So like
Officials say
the reason
Riley-
I asked this is because if nobody knows who called that in, then why wouldn't this police officer say, "Hey, did you call in this car? Did you call in that your car got, busted in for a window?"
did not appear distressed in the brief exchange with the police officer. That occurred after Riley was escorted out of Luke.
Up on.
Nashville authorities and volunteers planning to ramp up their search.
Have absolutely nothing, no new tips, no traces of anything to follow up on.
Nashville authorities and volunteers planning to ramp up their search efforts this week with a particular focus near the Cumberland River, where officials say Riley was last seen, and the same area where 2 volunteers found Riley's bank card.
We can't find his credit card. We gotta hang up.
The first major break in days.
I don't really know how we found it.
Well, first of all, if you think that Riley's in the river, you guys need to go way past where you're looking. Oh, did I get a picture of the card? Thank you. Let's take a look. I went looking for Joey LaBute back in Columbus, back when he went missing around the time of the Arnold Classic, which was in March. And I knew that he was in the river. And literally right where we were, he was found the next day. Right there. Okay, here, they need to move way down. Okay, let's try something here. I want to show you guys something else. Let me see how I can pull this up. We're going to take a look at the oopsies. All right, so this is an aerial view of, let's take a look. So we got, let's see, those are the two bridges right there. Now, okay, let's see. Those two bridges are really, I mean, they're pretty close together. I'm just trying to get a look at this right there. I want to see that more towards the left. Look at this. See how much space there is? A lot of space. Thank you, Patty. The one on top is the Woodlands Street Bridge. Okay, so wait there. That's perfect. Look at that view. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. Look at that. But this puts you coming where, though? You see that? That puts you coming way further. I'll tell you this. After I saw the video of Riley with the officer, okay, I then started to have to say, okay, I want to talk more about foul play. And the reason I want to talk about that is because he had some wherewithal with him, okay? He was not the videos and pictures of him leaving Luke's horrible. Then you see him on that body cam, different. Very, very different. And that's what's changing, my opinion, is the police body cam. He had some wherewithal in him to, he had a chance to ask if he needed help. He felt that he was fine. He straightened up enough that I'm not, that this, if he would have been acting like he was by the scooters and when he first left, if any officer would have seen him doing that, that officer would have went right to him. Okay. Even if he's acting for the cop, he had enough wherewithal to even know if that was a cop. Okay. That's wherewithal. Like, how do they, if you're, look at how he was walking and he's out of it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. But he had some wherewithal back that this cop, I mean, he changed. He adapted to, oh God, I'm going to get in trouble if I don't, buckle up. So I wonder what this smells like down here. This is what we should be having all of our criminals in prisons cleaning up, by the way. Look at that couch. This is where people are hanging out at Ashley Banfield. Boom. Hmm. Look at that. There's so much space. Hmm. Look at how much space there is, guys. Look at all that before it goes to like some cliff that people are talking about. No, man. No. Look at the depth. Look at the depth perceptive. Look at that. Now this is down by the dam. Look at that. What do you guys think about that? You're welcome. Right there. See right there? What building is that? I think that's the building that's lit up. Oh, wait, right here. This is it. Right here. What's this building right here? That's the red lights right there across it. That reverse calm. This has definitely shifted my perspective. Good. I'm glad I could help with that. I do believe in us thinking outside the box. I actually love when people think outside the box. And no, somebody said that I think that I'm smarter than everybody else. I'm flattered. Thank you. But no, I just think that this young man would have turned up if he was in that water. I do. Not saying that he still could be in that, that water, but I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about that. What is up, girl? Yeah, what's up? What's up? I think he was abducted. Unfortunately, I don't think he went over the bridge into the river. Yeah, I don't see that either. Thank you, Bubs. I'll tell you this: if he's in the water, it's because he was put in there after the fact. That's what I think right now. I think that I think I have good reason to believe that he typed in your tempo versus tempo, and that's exactly where he was headed. And I think he's showing me different he's showing me that he has some. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Let me ask you guys a question. The way that he was when he's crossing and around the officer, totally a different Riley, I believe. So then at that point, what's the condition of his phone? What's the condition of his phone at that point? Like, why wouldn't he just use his phone at that point if he didn't know where he was going? You know what I mean? Or to just talk to anybody for that matter, like, hey, are any of you guys coming back? Like, I'm so hungry. Like, can you guys bring back food for me? Or like, people use DoorDash. So like, here, I'll DoorDash myself to the hotel. By the way, that when I get back to that point and I'm back at the hotel, the DoorDash will be there. Let's be honest. Anybody that's usually like walking like that, like you're on your phone all the time because you have nothing else to do. So you're like on your phone, texting or doing something with an app, social media. He's by himself, so like, why wouldn't he like whip out his phone? Yeah, I agree. That's what's hard to get over right now. Why didn't he want help? I don't think he felt that he needed help at that point. That's what I think. Is I don't think that he felt that he needed it. All right, let's take one more look at something else. Actually, I have a new theory on that. I don't believe that he thought that he was walking the wrong way at all. I believe that he typed in your tempo. Well, he actually just typed in tempo and he clicked on the your tempo. And again, if you look at that, your tempo is actually right where he was headed. So thank you, Janet. Yeah, there's no way that you're getting to that part right there. Well, what's at your tempo? Let's go take a look. We'll take a look at something really quick with your tempo. That's a good question there. Why aren't they releasing other videos? They said they were going to put out everything, and they don't have any reason to believe this is foul play. This is a homicide investigation, whatever. So they said they're going to put everything out there. So now they start holding back things. So are they starting to change their opinion about what this is? But let's do this for a second. I'm going to share, oopsies. I'm going to share the screen right here, which is Google Earth. And I'm going to move down here, right here. This is your tempo. Okay, so it's right literally after. Okay. Back up. right here. And this is exactly where he was, walking right here. And this is your tempo. So this is where he thought he was going, in my opinion. And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what is up over here. Remember, there's a bunch of construction. Look at all this construction. Oopsies. Again, how and why I believe this, I will show you. That's the picture of the place. Thursday. Oh, today's date is the 21st. Yep. 3/21/2024. Let's take a look at this. Now, remember, they were outside of a police, department, they were saying when they called. But I want to do one more thing here. Again, this is what I think happened. If I go to my slideshow, for those of you guys that are just joining Truth and Transparency on this lovely Thursday, if we start from the beginning, this is the tempo Hilton over here. Then they're hitting the Garth. They were hitting Miranda Lambert's. They were hitting Garth's. Then they hit Luke's. Now, leaving Luke's. Watch this. Everyone's like, oh my God, he just totally went the wrong way. All he had to go was this way to get to tempo. I don't believe that he thought that he was going the wrong way. Now I am 100%, 99% on why I feel this way. But I believe that he typed in right here tempo, and he hit the your tempo, which then takes him literally. It is what he did. Right here, he doesn't go from Luke's to go like that. He went the wrong way, so he goes out this way and go down towards the water. He didn't. If he's gonna go back to their hotel, he would have gone back, to this way, and then his hotel's right there. He literally goes this way and then makes his right to then be by the water. Okay, and the reason he is walking this way, I believe, in the first place, is because this is right here, your tempo. And that's exactly what he did. He goes to a couple blocks, then makes a right, goes down, and then starts walking up along, this water area. And those are the two bridges right there. And then right after that, that's where the your tempo is. That's why I believe that. Because if you are using your cell phone, you would have, you would just type it in. So I searched tempo in Nashville and got a restaurant in Nashville. I tried many times to get your tempo. Anyone else get your tempo? Well, I also think it would have to do with if you're standing down there. If you're down in that area. So we don't think he crossed the bridge. He could have. I'm saying this is why I think that he was walking this way. And when he would have been walking this way, and why he didn't ask the cop for anything, is because right here is where this all took place, right? right here. This is where I think that's that building that's lit up. And so when you say like cross the bridge, you mean like walk up the steps, come along here and go that way? I just think that he would have been looking at his phone, and his phone is continuing to tell him that he's on the right path, and so he continues to walk this way. At no point do we see Riley ever do this, that he's walking and he decides to like retype something in, and that, okay, now he gets the right tempo. So then he decides to, unless right here, he decides to like go up and he's going to start making his way and trying to cut up like this. All right. To bring himself back over here. Right here. Christ Church Cathedral. Are you shitting me right now? And there you go. We've solved the case. We can just stop right now. No, I'm kidding, guys. It's a total joke. Total joke. Those of you guys have been following my stuff with the Idaho 4 case. People wanted me to look into the Christ Church, and I never did. And someone should make those law enforcement of this. Oh, well, Christ Church then. Here goes, right? So case solved. Yeah, but no, like taking a big picture and like backing all the way out of this whole thing. And he never makes an attempt to like stop going the way that he was walking along the river. And also at no point, well, I would love for one of the frat boys to come out and talk about, somebody says they were helping him try to get back to the hotel. I want to hear actually somebody say that, from the frats. Shit, you want us to call up the frat right now? Give him a holler. But when people want to talk about what's along that water and you could just like fall right into the water, that's just not true. Sorry, but that's just not. Those frat boys ain't gonna talk. Well, let's go back and look at this really quick then. Let's type in, because I did it with the precinct here. Metro Action Commission, 2nd Ave. See, that's the 6th one. That's across the bridge. Let me back out of that. Let me type in this other one too. Oh, look at that. Sheriff's Department Personnel Office. See right there? You see your tempo? You see the Sheriff's Department? Now, from my understanding, I was waiting for Mike dropping to get in here to see this. So again, right here is your tempo. Right here is the Sheriff's Department. This is Personnel Office. I don't even know what the hell's there. Let's take a look. Then take a look at right here. Popo. Sheriff. Who is that? I'm gonna show you guys this too. Or at least I want to just play it.
Saturday, March 9, 2024, 13:46 and 24 seconds.
911, what is the address of your emergency? Hi, I don't have an address. I'm trying to file a missing persons report, and the Central Police is closed, and the sheriff's office said that we couldn't do it there. Okay, so where exactly are you now? We're in front of the Central Police, how do you say it? Precinct? How do you say that? Precinct. The Central Police Precinct on... Okay, there's 601 Korean Veterans Boulevard and down right across from the Music City Center? Yeah. Okay, and is that where you're able to wait for a police officer to come and speak to you? Yeah, we can wait for an officer here. Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from? Of my phone? Yes, in case we needed to reach you back, what is the best number to reach you at? And what is your name, sir? Braden, Brayden. Your last name? DALTZ.
Oh, great. So you guys didn't get to hear any of that? Ready?
Riley, Riley, Strain, Strain. Okay. Is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian? He's white. 22-year-old, 6'5", blonde. Okay. And what was he last seen wearing? Outside of Luke Bryan's bar last night at like 10. And then the last time his location on his phone was by the sheriff's office at like 11.
Boom. By the sheriff's office at 11. Let me see. All right, so this is what I was trying to say. By the sheriff's office. Why do they think that it's the sheriff's office? So now if we go and we take a look at what I was just trying to show you guys. Here it is. If we go over here and we go back to where I said this, your tempo was. They think that this sheriff's department is this. The sheriff's department personnel. Like they're looking at like where his phone last pinged. You see that? See there, your tempo right there? See the sheriff's department? Like, that's what I think. See all this right there? That's what I think. His phone last ping there. Which would mean that he, you know, like I said, like those are those two bridges that they're all talking about. All right. And if you kept on walking, here's this last ping by the sheriff's department. And right here is the your tempo. You guys see that? Mm-hmm. He was clearly not walking distance to the hotel. Well, I'm saying that he was walking to what he thought the hotel was. He thought that this was the hotel. He didn't realize that he had put in and clicked on this Your Tempo place, in my opinion. That's like, why are these guys saying that? How did these guys even know that Riley's phone? And I think that they're doing it from Snapchat, is from my opinion, right? That something about Snapchat, and this is where he was. But this is where this is where they're getting that whole sheriff's thing from. And so he would have been under, okay? If you're walking under and you continue to walk, all right, you can just be walking along, see like this river park. Keep on walking along. Right there. Thoughts on that? You guys see that? So this little sheriff's, like, this is what it's coming up with. Like when you would zoom in on anything, it's going to say sheriff's department, which is right here. This is the Your Tempo right there. Now, is this the sheriff's department they're talking about? That they're saying that they saw this last ping. That's what I think. Thoughts? Yeah, he would have had to cross the street and walk away from the water. Yeah, I mean, I'll show you what it looks like when you're walking. What it looks like. It's if you're walking, it's same thing, the thing he was doing before. See this? Here he goes. So he's walking. You can either walk up on that that way, or you can continue just keep on walking that way. Just because it was closed, I don't believe that it's closed right now. This is just when Google did these pictures, but so he didn't have to come up anywhere over here. He would have just continued to walk over there. Like this. Like this. See? Okay. All right, that's what I'm going to leave you guys with right now. I'm going to do some more research, and I'll be back to talk more about it. And I just may have to take my crazy ass to Nashville. Again, I want to say thank you to all the moderators. Thank you to Lake Erie, member for 4 months, on our way to a baby. Nancy S. just sprinkled all of you guys with some love. She's like Oprah in here. You get a green membership. You get a green membership. Janet in the UK bought somebody a membership as well. Kim House been a member for 3 months. It's not if he's not in the river, then it's obvious there was absolutely. Even if he wasn't, you have to see, was that after, did he drown? And then Lisa Wilson, what is up, girl? Welcome. All right, guys, you guys take care. More Delphi. I'm exhausted, but yeah, Delphi, more everything. Check out all stuff. Like the video or don't like the video. Either way, you're going to have an opinion. Just make yourself known. Make yourself known. But all right, guys, until next time. Much love to all of you guys. Thanks again, mods, members, subscribers, lurkers. Love y'all. Peace out. Let's go with, there you go.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation.